Morgan Park Academy has been my only school for the past 10 years of my life. As a lower school student, this school prepared me for the easy stuff, like math, reading, and writing. But my years as a middle schooler prepared me for high school, for life beyond academics and just reading and writing. During our time as middle schoolers, we took part in academic challenges, sports and extracurriculars, and figuring out who we want to be as people in this world through forming friendships and relationships with old and new people. As middle schoolers this year, we took part in academic challenges such as midterms and finals. For the first time, we were pushed to be treated as high schoolers because we were going to be freshmen next year. One of my favorite things about our academics were English class. Ms. Burgess always let us have creative freedom within our assignments, giving us projects that give us the ability to showcase our talents and practice our writing. My favorite assignment this year was the end of the quarter project at the end of the first semester. It was a fantastic project, and my hard work really paid off when I ended up with an 100. She always encourages us to use our own judgment and not need a guide to follow for everything we do. Teachers like Ms. Terry, Ms. McAllister, Ms. Burgess, and Tina Harris made learning fun and made sure we weren't doing assignment after assignment and had a few times to just relax. Our teachers made sure our classes were always interesting, whether it was going off task and learning a new topic, or they were making a joke at a student. One of my favorites were whenever somebody would ask a question and everybody would keep piling on to that question, and within 10 minutes, the period was over. We were lucky enough to have a school that cared about education enough to not keep us confined to a classroom to learn. We went to places like DC, where we not only learned how to build lifelong skills, such as communication and making friends with other schools. We also went to Springfield, where we learned about Lincoln and much more about other local history. These were great experiences and were really much more interesting than learning in a classroom. Another part of being a middle school at MPA is taking part in sports, activities, and extracurriculars. As a middle schooler and even as a lower school student, I always felt sports were a place where you could build teamwork and communication between myself and my classmates. Every season was a new experience. Bringing in new people and changing different aspects of the sports were always interesting. Even outside of organized sports, we still got to be competitive and active in gym class where we would compete for the fun of it. Nevertheless, no one wanted to lose. Every year, there was a school play for kids to take part in, and this year, I got to be a part of the play in a different way than usual. Usually, I have a role in the play and I'm on stage acting, but this year, I was a part of the backstage parts and the part that really brings the magic together and makes everything happen. Being a stage manager really helped me with my leadership skills and helped me manage time and priorities. The thing I found most important about MPA is the relationships I formed here. I'll never find another group of friends that were so supportive and encouraging. People who made me always stand up for myself and believe in myself. They made me feel safe as a student, like I knew someone would always be there for me to have my back. My relationships with the boys in our class were of course different from my friendships with my girls. They weren't as interested in the emotional and feelings portion of a friendship, but I could tell them anything and receive advice from a different point of view than I would get from anyone else. But I could never allow one friend to take credit for how much I've changed as a person in these past 3 years. So many of my friends taught me that every moment was a chance to make a lifetime memory. Taught me friendship is family. The bonds you make with some of your friends are forever, and it's important to have someone you can always count on. They help me look at life from a different perspective. They always look for the bright side of a dark situation and were always encouraging me, whether it was to do an assignment, encouraging me in sports, or just giving me advice and helping me to follow through with it. They always showed me how to stand up for myself, not to be worried about standing up to someone else if they thought they were in the wrong. They pushed me to be a better person in every aspect of life, educating me on topics we learned in and out of school. They inspired me to be better, to work harder, whether it was in school or on a court. I think academics aside, the most impactful thing I'll take away from MPA was my friendships, because they all taught me something different. Things that I'll take with me as I go through life, and hopefully friendships I'll take with me as well. Muhammad Ali once said, "Don't count the days, make the days count." And I think every day of my life at MPA has lived up to those words. As we took part in academic adventures, activities, sports, curriculums, and friendships, my days at MPA will always be remembered because of the impact they left on my life.